Good morning. My mom and I are here at the Sheep Lakes parking area located inside Rocky Mountain National Park. Official start time 7:15. And today we're going to go for that high point up there. It's called Hazels Cone. And I thought this was going to be easy, but that looks like it might be difficult. I mapped this on Cotrex and it said 0.3 of a mile, but I can tell you it's going to be a lot longer than that. 0.3 of a mile, my butt. And this is steep through here. Real loose and slick too. But I think we're going to take it straight up right through there. Knock out as much of this elevation gain as we can. And then reevaluate once we get closer. I feel like we're following a game trail. Yeah, there have definitely been animals through here. This is probably where all the bighorn sheep come down. If we can keep cutting this up diagonally through here, this isn't too bad. Because I think we're going to have to take it over to the west side of the cone and then loop it around. And we got to be at least 200 or 300 feet above the road now. So we're getting up there. We're going slowly but surely. And then my mom said, "Don't call me Shirley." So we're staying on this game trail. And so far this is working. We just had to navigate a couple down trees. But this is looking promising up here. I can see daylight. And I think that's going to be the cone right there in front of us. Yeah, this is looking good. Straight up through here. All the way to the top. I just cracked myself in the forehead with my own hand. I was coming up and my foot slipped off a rock and my head came straight down onto the end of my pole. Luckily, my hand was there to soften the blow. And this is like 10 times harder than I thought it was going to be. Yeah, I was planning on a super easy one today, but this is not super easy. And I thought we were going to be in the sunshine by now, but it's like the more we hike around this high point, the more we're hiking away from the sunshine. All right, and this trail is starting to flatten out just a tiny bit. You're like, what trail? The one that we're on right now. It's like some type of a game trail. Okay, I think we've been aiming at the wrong thing this entire time. That big rocky high point was way too hard to be Hazels Cone. I mean, that thing is still like 500 feet above us. And I just checked my GPS, and I don't think it's in the correct spot anyway. I think we overshot Hazels Cone. So what we're going to do is start angling it back more to like the northeast. We're going to try and get up on the ridge and then see what we can see. We've made it up onto the ridge, and that's looking back at the thing we thought was Hazels Cone. And that's not it. That's way higher. Way, way higher. Yeah, I think we overshot Hazels Cone by at least a quarter mile. And it's a little nasty up here on this ridge. But we're going to have to cut it back to the east. The only bit of good news is that I don't think we have any more elevation gain we need to do. If anything, we need to drop it down. And that ridge was a little too nasty. So we're gonna drop it down to just below it and then take it across. Yeah, it looks much better through there. It's like as soon as that sun hits you, it warms up by like 10 degrees. Yeah, it should be obvious at this point. I have no idea what I'm doing. Like, what else is new? And we're getting back up on the ridge. And this should lead right over to it. Yeah, I think we went the wrong way right from the start. I don't know though. I have no idea where this thing is located. You're like, don't you research these things before you start the hike? Obviously not. And I'm thinking that's going to be Hazels Cone right out there in front of us. That's got to be it. It's just kind of out there by itself, detached from Bighorn Mountain. Yeah, that other high point was like coming off Bighorn, and that's not it. Hazels Cone stands alone. Yeah, we know it's not to the west of where we parked because we canvassed that whole area and there's no Hazels Cone over there. So it's got to be back to the east. And we're getting some beautiful views from up here too. The mountain's got some snow. And that's Deer Mountain right over there. And when we were coming around the north side of it, we could look right over and see Hazels Cone. So I'm thinking that it's right over here. Okay, I just checked my pictures that I had taken last week when we were coming down Trail Ridge Road. And this has got to be it. This has got to be it. We just need to keep fighting our way up there. And I wish this was it right here, but it's not going to be that easy. No way. And that's going to be it right there in front of us. So we're going to take it up right here and see if we can find a way to scramble to the top. I'm not sure if we're going to get all the way up there or not though. Looks kind of nasty. Yeah, this has got to be it because it's right here at the end of this little ridge that goes along the front of Bighorn Mountain. It's not really connected to Bighorn. It's kind of in front of it. Whew, yeah. That's it right there. We just leaned our poles up against a rock at the bottom and we're going to try and climb to the top. See that little ledge right there? Yes. Yeah. Just stay low. Boom. And this is getting a tad bit sketchy through here. These rocks are wet and they are slick. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, I think that looks a little too dangerous. Under ideal conditions, one could probably make their way all the way to the top, but that gets really narrow right there. And it's just a straight drop off on both sides. And I'm not taking my mom on that. Nope. Yeah, this is some solid class 3 right through here. And it looks like, you know, it's possible to get up right through there. But I don't think we're going to try it. It's just a little too sketchy. Not worth it. So instead, We're gonna sit right here on this little perch, and this is gonna be the end of the road for us. Yeah, and this is looking more like what I thought. It really wasn't that far from the road. And then you can see way out there is the parking area. So we went completely the wrong way right out the gate. Big time. I can tell you what though, these are better views than what I was expecting. Amazing. Yeah, I didn't think we were gonna see too much from up here, but this is pretty good. We can actually see over to Long's Peak, Mount Meeker, and a bunch of the other big mountains. And we got up here at roughly 8:55, which means we've been hiking for 1 hour and 40 minutes. And that's the thing right over there that we had originally saw. Yeah, that ain't it. That thing is way the heck up there. It's like the freaking Needles or something. And you know what time it is up here on Hazels Cone. It's tea time. And this is our spot right here. And we've got some awesome views. And I don't know about anybody else, but I'm loving this government shutdown. Look at those blue skies up there. What happened to all the airplanes? There's nothing worse than when you're eating a bag of beef jerky and you think you got one good piece left and then you pull this out. And that's looking at the rocks we had to climb down right there to get to our spot. And we might be able to take it back around the edge here. Not really sure. If we can't, we're gonna have to climb back up and over. But we don't want to get too close to the edge because this is not the spot to slip off and fall, because you ain't walking out of here. You might get airlifted out in a body bag. Well, it's about 9:40 and we've been sitting up here on Hazels Cone for about 45 minutes or so. But it's time to go. It's time to head on back. Yeah, it looks like coming around the edge might be the easier way. Better than going up and over. All right. Yeah, these rocks on the north side are still wet and they are slick as snot.
Easy way.
All right, let's do it. Let's take it on back. And this should be a pretty easy descent. And it's official. I think we did that the dumbest way possible. If we would have started out in the right direction from the beginning, that wouldn't have been too hard at all. Whoa. And the further we drop down, the better the terrain should get. Yeah, we're back in the sun now. And we're going to keep cheating it over here to the southwest. And we're aiming for the parking lot. See, this is what I thought the terrain was going to be like. Kind of open and grassy. That's why when we started off in the trees, I was having doubts. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Geez, it is slick through here. These pine cones will put you on your butt if you're not careful. Man, it's like walking on golf balls or something. We're looking real good right now. The only thing I'm worried about are ticks. I mean, I'm hoping that it's too cold for them, but they love these south-facing grassy slopes with down trees. This is where they're at. So we're gonna have to do a tick check when we get down to the bottom. Yeah, if you come up through here during tick season, I guarantee you're gonna pick some up. I guarantee it. And I can see my car out there in the parking lot. So we're in the perfect position. And we made it back down to the Sheep Lakes parking area. It is just now 10:15, so that only took us 30 minutes to come back down. Took us about 1 hour and 40 minutes to get up there, but that was with going the wrong way. 30 minutes to get down. And I'm not really sure the rest of the stats on that. Okay, just for clarification, that is not Hazels Cone. Hazels Cone is sticking up right over there. You can barely see it. All right, Hazels Cone. Boom, got it. Well, we hope you enjoyed that hike. And until the next one, y'all, peace.